welcome back to Eric Science Theater, I guess. I'm going to be reading my part of the Oresteia. I've been playing the part of the Furies, and I'll be reading the part of Athena in my normal voice, because I don't know, he never got back to my own.
You younger gods, you have written down the ancient laws, wrenched them from my grasp, and I, robbed of my birthright, suffering great with wrath, I lose my poison over the soil. Aye! Poison to match my grief comes pouring out of my heart, cursing the land to make it sterile, and now rising up from its roots a cancer blasting leaf and child. Now for justice, justice, cross the face of the earth, a bloody tide comes sweeping, hurling all mankind destroyed. Moaning, only moaning, what will I do? The mockery of it, oh unbearable, mortified by Athens, we daughters of night, our power stripped, cast down.
You have your power, you are goddesses, but not to turn. On the world of men and ravage its past cure. You are goddesses, but not to turn on the world of men and ravage it past cure. I put my trust in Zeus, and must I add this? I am the only god who knows the keys to the armory, where his lightning bolts are sealed. No need of that, not here. Let me persuade you. The lethal spell of your voice, never cast it down on the land and blight its harvest home. Lull asleep that salt black wave of anger, awesome, proud with reverence, live with me. The land is rich, and more when its first fruit... The land is rich, and more when its first fruits, offers for heirs and the marriage rights, are yours to hold forever. You will praise my words.
But for me to suffer such disgrace, I, the proud heart of the past, driven under the earth, condemned like so much filth, and the fury of me breathing hatred, O good earth, what is this stealing under the breast? What agony racks the spirit? Night, dear mother night, all's lost, our ancient powers torn away by their cunning, ruthless hands. The gods are so hard to wrestle down, obliterate us all.
I will bear with your anger. You are older. The years have taught you more, much more than I can know. But Zeus, I think, gave me some insight too, that has its merits. If you leave for an alien land, an alien people, you will come to love this land, I promise you. As time flows on, the honors flow through all my citizens, and you, throned in honor before the house of Erechtheus, will harvest more from men and women moving in solemn file than you can win throughout the mortal world. The scene that I have been assigned takes place immediately after Orestes is let off the hook for the crime of murdering his mother, Clytemnestra, thanks to Apollo's argument causing a tie in the jury, which is broken by Athena's vote. Understandably, the Furies, the prosecuting party in this case, are exceptionally and outrageously outraged. Due to their divine purpose of punishing those seen as cruel and wicked, which they were given eons ago in primordial times from their mother. This divine charge has been undermined by the actions of two gods many eons their junior, those being Athena and Apollo. They scream out about how these younger gods have robbed them of their birthright and stripped them of the power given to them in ages primordial, making them a mockery for all to see. And then Athena tries to calm the furious daughters of night down by saying that despite recent events, they are still goddesses of great power and respect, which they are. Like, they're still the Furies, even if one man escaped them. Instead of lashing out and causing their lethality and casting their lethality upon the world of man, they should instead, well, I already said instead, they should put their fury to rest and preside over the protection of heirs and marriages and other more kindly things, giving them their new name of the Eumenides. The Furies believe such an act would be a form of disgrace and vehemently refuse. They then make an appeal to their mother, the primordial goddess Night, or Nyx, if you're going by the official terminology. Say once again how their role, their ancient heart, has been buried in filth and muck, and how the new gods have wrestled away their ancient powers and authority. Athena responds by acknowledging that they are indeed older than her, and thus more experienced in the ways and the workings of the world. However, she insists that if they do make the change, they'll eventually learn to love it and get more out of life than they ever did before, deriving from the harvesting more from men and women moving in solemn file than they, and all so and such. On to my interpretation of the text. I think it's talking about the demise or redefining of the Chthonian and the rise and creation of the Apollonian worlds. The Furies, being primordial daughters of an even more primordial being, Nyx, represent the old, the chaotic, the earth-based, which is why they appeal to Mother Earth before they appeal to their mother Nyx in the text. In the more feminine-based world of the Chthonian, because the two goddesses, the two deities that they call out to are Mother Earth and their mother Nyx, showing the female dominion over the chthonic world, as discussed in class. On the other side of the coin, Athena and Apollo, the two gods in this case that the Furies are so angry at for undermining them, quote unquote, are representations of the new, the civilized, and the rational, and the more male-focused world of the Apollonian, which is why Athena repeatedly talks about Zeus and how she has a connection to him, and so and such. Because both Athena and Apollo are the children of a male deity, that being Zeus, showing a contrast between the two groups. One is born from female forces, and one is born from male. Athena even more so, because she's born from the head, from the cracking open of the head of Zeus, a man, or a god, but a male god. The entire story of the Eumenides is a kind of metaphor, a kind of representation of the redefining of the world from a lawless and chaotic state to a more refined and civilized and law-based one. The story basically kind of gives a mythological framework for the creation of the Athenian legal system, which was revolutionary at the time. It was a kind of way of saying this of making a person's actions be more thought about, instead of just saying this person committed a horrible crime, they will be punished and put to death, which is the way that the Furies abide. That's the ancient way. That's the ancient primordial way. So the Furies, their anger shows how they believe that they will be kind of put aside and they're being undermined and the world is changing without them. Showing how, and this section that I've been tasked to talk about is the perfect microcosm of this idea, because it shows the fury of the past conflicting with the redefinition of the future. The Furies express their disdain about how the old world is disappearing and being being disgraced, being buried, being basically put to death. The old world is dead in the minds of the Furies because someone was allowed to undermine or kind of affect their holy crusade of justice, or what they believe to be justice. However, Athena does not take such a pessimistic viewpoint. She focuses on not how the old world is dead, but how the old world can change. It can become anew. It can redefine itself in a new way, which is why she doesn't admonish the Furies or say that they are backward, they are wrong, they are evil. She says that they can change, they can find a new purpose, they can preside over a new domain, and they can be happy that way. She says how if they leave for an alien land and alien people, they will come to love this land, the land that they're in, because they'll be coming at it in a new way. So instead of being focused on the past's death, she's focused on how the past can turn into something new to better affect the future, which is why she expresses how she believes the Furies can find a new purpose in the new world, the Apollonian world, which is not a very common sentiment in a lot of Greek mytho-history. Because, hold on, I'm going to take a little break. Because a lot of it is about how the old is horrible and the old is being replaced by the new. Like the whole Greek succession cycle of the universe. Like where Uranos has the throne, or Kronos has the throne, or Zeus has the throne. It's like doing away with the old, bringing in the new. This myth shows how that's not always how that doesn't always have to be the case. It shows how the past can, instead of rejecting it, you can accept the past, although not accept the same version, and I know I keep saying the same thing. I'm just trying to really hammer in the message. I'm trying to redefine what the past can do for the future. The new does not spell doom for the old. It spells a new beginning for the old. And I think that's an interesting sentiment to bring to anything, because the past is always met with contention. The past is always met with reverence, and the future is met with apprehension, as shown by the Furies. The Furies are apprehensive of the new way that's going to put them out of a job or make them irrelevant. But that's not how things typically are. Like, nostalgia is a thing for a reason. And I think this ancient text, shows that in a very good way. It's very insightful about the nature of things. By the way, I haven't been talking completely on the script. I've been improvising a lot, but I think I've made my point pretty well. And bottom firing line, in summary, the text talks about how the Chthonian becomes the Apollonian, not by rejecting what it is, but by redefining what it is. I've said the word redefine a lot. Okay, there we go.